Clayton said, do a review of the 8370 RX in the corn planter. So that's what we're gonna do. Well, Michael's come in from Utah to do a little footage and got rain today. So Clayton said, do a review of the 8370 RX in the corn planter. So that's what we're gonna do. It's April 9th here in Kentucky. We haven't had the corn planter in the field yet. It's just been out at the shop, making sure everything's ready to go. We're waiting on warmer weather. It looks like in the next couple of weeks we are gonna have some warmer weather. Up to this point we've just been mild, cool, and it's been really dry here, but the temperatures have been cold. So we'll talk about it just a little bit. On the very front of this tractor we have Chem Farm stainless steel tanks. These are twin 360s. Each tank holds 360 gallons. We use them for placing nitrogen and sulfur on the corn. If you look over here, we're pulling a 1775 ExactEmerge planter, and it has the John Deere pump system on it, ExactRate. So you cannot plumb a auxiliary tank into the planter. So the way we set this thing up is we took a High Pro 200 gallon a minute pump and supply the planter tank with our front tank. So the front tanks are just a holding supply for the back tank on the actual planter. They don't want you to actually pump liquid into the John Deere Exact Apply pump. So the way we did that is we just run the tube down the wing around and supply the actual planter tank with liquid. This is our supply line coming from our auxiliary tanks at the front. When I first got into liquid on the planter, I was using electric pumps to try to keep the planter full, and I just continually had trouble with electric stuff. Liquid being heavy, it being a long, rough season, I decided to, do overkill. So that's why I got such a big hydraulic pump on the back, but it never fails me. And if I need liquid to my back tank rapidly, I can get it back there fast. So that's the system we use. We just pump from the back through this tube down the wing bar, and then it winds up in that auxiliary tank there on the back of the planter.
What's up, guys? Today I am out here in California. I'm just letting you know that this video is brought to you by Atlas Media Solutions. If you didn't know, Atlas Media Solutions is the company that makes all the Denton Farm stuff happen. I run it. I'm in a different state pretty much every week. That's why I'm in California. I'll be in Missouri in 2 days. Yeah, so just so you guys know that this video is sponsor free other than me, but if you'd like to check out our website, if you are interested in any photo video for your ag business, I mean, that's what we do. Hence why I'm out in places like this. So if you guys are interested about that, you want to learn more, check out the link below, or you can follow me on Instagram. So enjoy the video, guys. See ya.
Clayton was saying, explain to guys why you've gone with the ExactEmerge system. So that's what we'll talk about a little bit. This planter is the Highspeed, what they call a Highspeed John Deere planter. And it has a little bit different metering system. And we'll take this off here and so everybody can take a look at it. But basically what this is this is your air supply, this is your vacuum, and this sucks seed to this plate. We'll see here. Here's your plate or bowl, and when I take this off, we're gonna lose seed. But if you can see, if you're a decal fan, there's some decal seed in there for you. This is your doubles eliminator, so you just move, if you're having more doubles, you move it up to eliminate your doubles, and if you're getting skips, you move the eliminator back. This is one of the worst parts of the meter to me. It's a really good meter, but to make adjustments, you actually have to take your corn bowl out, make your adjustment, put the bowl back in, and then plant. I wish they'd change that. When we look here at the ExactEmerge, oh, that's not good. when we look here, this planter actually has a belt, like a conveyor belt, that takes the seed to the bottom of the planter. So instead of a traditional planter, it would have a meter that dropped a seed down a tube and then it would go to the ground. This planter actually has a belt, and the meter places the belt, or places the seed inside the belt. The belt turns down and it takes the seed all the way to the ground, drops the seed out of the brush into the ground. So you got an even drop. It makes for a very even seeding of your corn plants. So if you look at this meter, for those of you that don't know anything about corn meters, this is our supply hopper. So what we'll see, those two big tanks at the back, your supply will be there. It will come by an air out of this tube into this little mini hopper right here. And this mini hopper will actually drop seed into this lower bowl. And then the vacuum on the planter sucks the seed to these holes. There will be one seed per hole. And as it rotates around to its turn, it'll pass by this eliminator, and then it'll make sure there's just one seed on that bowl, and then it'll drop the seed into that little brush right there, and then take it to the ground. Each one of these, this is an actual electric motor that drives your meter, and then you have an electric motor that drives your brush as well. So everybody always wonders about an electric planter. Well, that's why they call it an electric planter, because it's actually using electric motors to drive its meters and to drive its seed delivery. On traditional planters, you either have ground wheels that use friction, or and some of them you have like a, I don't know what you'd call it, like kind of a drive line to drive the planter. With the ExactEmerge, it's all electric, so it takes some of the like the guesswork the planter would have with like friction type system. Makes the planter much more accurate. This is another part I wish they'd redesigned. They make it where you gotta get your handle just right in here. That's a hassle. They should change that. All right, so on this planter, it actually has a pneumatic closing system. So it uses air supplied by a compressor that's on the back of the planter to, this is your closing wheels. So after the seed's placed in the ground, these close your trench back. A lot of them are by spraying. The ExactEmerge, or this ExactEmerge, has the pneumatic air supply, so this bag will air up, and you can set from the cab the amount of poundage you want on your closing system. We also have pneumatic row cleaners, and it's got the same type of airbag system on it. Basically, you can lift it up out of the way of the furrow, or you can drop it right down and clean like straw out of the way, or plumage, whatever you have. This planter is also equipped with a 2x2 system. So this is John Deere old school. This is one of their original systems. It's a frame mounted 2x2, basically super simple. You just got a disc opener, one depth wheel, and a shoe on the back side that just has an injecting nozzle. So you're just placing your fertilizer on the left-hand side of each row. This planter is equipped with ExactRate, so we have stainless steel plumbing here, so your liquid would come from your front tanks to your back tank via a pump on the back of the planter to your plumbing, and then each this is similar to like your ExactApply sprayer is what this is. So it gives pinpoint accuracy for your fertilizer. There's no guesswork. It is self-calibrating, which is super nice, no guesswork. And like if you're coming up into point rows or waterways or whatever, and you have your maps already in there, the planter knows exactly where to and where not to apply, so you don't have wasted product in the field. This planter is also equipped with AutoPath, and basically what that is it's basically letting RTK know exactly where the planter has been in the field, and then when we go to make second applications with the side dress applicator, fertilizer applicator, whatever it will be, the next application behind the corn planter knows exactly which path to take. So there's no guesswork. The operator doesn't have to guess what row he's going to be on. It also, we can download those guidance lines to the combine, and the combine knows where matching rows are. And when I say matching rows, the corn planter is a 24 row, the combine is a 12 row, so each pass the planter makes in the field, the combine will make one round. So planter makes one pass, the combine knows it makes 2 rounds out of one pass the planter, and you have nice matching rows every time, and you don't have that row of shame that everybody always talks about, where it's just one row the length of the field. The AutoPath should eliminate that. As you see in a lot of my videos, we still have the row of shame, so it doesn't completely eliminate it. That's just operator error. This is the Deere ExactRate pump. It's the newer ones. I think this planter is like a 21 model or 22 model. The new ones are supposedly have a bigger pump on them. This one, like I try to get 60 units of nitrogen out there along with some other things in the mix, and at that amount of gallons per acre, you know, I end up losing some speed out of it. So the newer planters, I think they've fixed that shortcoming of them, because the planter has more ability to run fast without liquid on it than it does when you're trying to apply a bunch of liquid per acre. That's one of the shortfalls of the early ExactRate system. Clayton wanted me to tell the viewer why I chose to go with the ExactEmerge system. And our thinking on this was similar to the X9. So we have limited operators, we have limited timing windows on when we can get our crop in. Traditionally, we'd planted with 1631 planters, like what we used to do our beans with. It's very hard on a 1631 to get a really reliable liquid system just because your rows are so close. And once you put all the extras on you'd want on a corn planter, it just began to get cumbersome. I was working on the planter a lot, and I decided to go with a system where I could have one planter, I would be doing the acres myself, and I could just more control the variables. I could also have more room to work, because I only have 24 rows here, 30 inches apart. It gives me room to get all around on the planter. With a liquid planter, you have a lot of trouble out of the liquid system most of the time. This one's been pretty reliable, but just overall, liquid on the planter is going to give you some trouble. The 30-inch planter gives you ability to get around and work on those each individual row more easily. I can get more acres done a day with a 24 row. And then you add the high-speed component. It allows me to run 7 miles an hour or so to seed my corn, and I can just get over a lot of acres in a day. So it allowed me to go from 2 corn planters to 1 corn planter, eliminate 1 operator. He can be spraying or putting down liquid or planting beans, whatever other option we need done in the field. And it's just keeping me tied up on the corn planter, which I'd rather be doing that anyway. So I enjoy planting corn, and it's made this operation run a lot smoother. We're pulling this planter with a 370 horsepower John Deere RX, and I've had a few people ask me, is the tractor short on power? On just normal slope, trying to run 7 miles an hour, the planter has, or the tractor has plenty of horsepower to pull it. If we get into some of our steeper topographies, and I have the all my planter tanks loaded and are loaded with seed, the tractor does tend to get short on power. So yeah, the 420 or whatever it is, the 410, the bigger Deere, if you're going to run this setup and you're on more topography, I would suggest going with a bigger size tractor. For what I'm doing here, the 370 will work. And I mean, 7 miles an hour is going to catch most of my no-till ground anyhow. I don't need to be planting faster than that. So works for me. If you're in worked up ground and in more topography, I'd say you wanted more horsepower. So on the ExactEmerge planters, they actually have hydraulic downforce. So there's 3 types of downforce. You have the old school spring applied. You have the pneumatic, which is basically air like what we have on the closing system that's actually forcing our unit in the ground. And on the ExactEmerge, and I think the E-planters have this now as well, you have a hydraulic component that's keeping the unit in the ground. What this is basically doing is just like where you get you know, just it takes air a few seconds to respond to the terrain. This hydraulic responds almost instantly. So you get a very uniform seed depth. In corn, that matters because we want that really uniform emergence from the corn. The faster we can get our corn up and the more uniform we get our corn up, the higher yield level we can achieve. That's also why we look for really warm conditions to plant our corn into, because we want our corn up and growing within 4 days of being planted in the field. Some people say 3. I say, you know, if you can get it up 3 to 5 days and it's uniform, you're in pretty good shape to be able to achieve a pretty good stand or a pretty good yield at the end. On the closing system on this planter, we have, this is a cast iron copperhead. This actually isn't a Deere wheel. This is a copperhead ag wheel. It's very aggressive. Most of the time I'm in a no-till situation. A lot of times I'm after cover crop, and it's very difficult to get your seed trench closed. And with these spike closing wheels, it just allows more working of the sidewalls of the trench to be able to get your seed closed in very tight so you don't have air pockets in the furrow. Basically, this is just trying to get your corn seed tucked in there very tight, so you have soil contact all the way around it. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Harry Kelly of Kelly Engineering that makes this bracket system in these tanks. This is just a small family company. These tanks have been around since the 80s, I know, at least, maybe longer than that. They just built them in a small machine shop in Evansville, Indiana. The guys are super great. They're super accommodating. They fit all kinds of different styles of machinery, and they can accommodate just about any body tractor of any type. So give Harry a call. He'd love to help you, I guarantee you. And he doesn't pay me or anything. It's just he's a great guy, and he's been great to us. So Harry, appreciate the tanks.